And so we have reached the end of this long course. Thank you for your numerous participation and before wishing you all the best of luck in the final selection test that will allow you to join our criminological analysis unit. I'd like to introduce Captain Giulio Brandinoni, an ex-expert from the Milan headquarters. He will present his fascinating report on new psychoactive substances.
Major Salvatore Longobucco spoke these final words before bidding farewell to the military cadets seated in the large hall at the RIS headquarters in Parma. 97 people were present, a mix of men and women from Rome, Messina, Cagliari, Sassari, and even the town of the same name near Parma. Marinella Cestari, a cadet from the Salvo d'Acquisto barracks in Rome, sat in the front row with a very sad expression on her face. Her large green eyes, topped by a long blonde curtain fringe, were fixed on the former RIS chief in Parma. She was sad because she knew she would never see Longobucco again, except by chance. He was serving as a consultant instructor and would return to the Parma headquarters for the next new recruit training session, which would take place the following year. The young female student had fallen head over heels for the major from the very first day of the course. She had immediately fallen in love with that mature, graying man, always dressed elegantly yet casually. Every day, she sat in that front row seat, her gaze fixed on the instructor, but above all, on the man of her most erotic and secret dreams. Longobucco realized from the very first day of the course that the young woman's interest went far beyond the training and focused on something strictly personal. At first, the man wasn't displeased. Moreover, he too had been impressed, more than anything, by Marinella Cestari's speed and ease of learning, which combined with her fresh, youthful beauty, made her his favorite student, far superior even to her male colleagues. So much so that one evening Longobucco agreed to go for a drink with the young student at a bar in the center of Parma. The dim lights and a secluded table perfectly choreographed the woman's attempt to bed the man of her dreams. Marinella knew full well that Longobucco was already seriously involved with another woman and that she had given her a child. But the situation, far from deterring her from her morbid intentions, only enticed and excited her to persist. So, that evening, she went on the attack and pulled the most classic move a woman could, footsie. At first, the elder felt a thrill that transported him exquisitely back to adolescence, so much so that as soon as Marinella placed her soft foot, clad in a light black pantyhose, on his leg and then on the area of his penis, he gently caressed her toes. But then, realizing he was spiraling into an uncontrollable situation, he gently pushed her foot away and shook his head, saying,
"I'm sorry, Marinella, but it's not the case that you waste your fresh youth with an old man like me and also busy and with children."
Longobucco's dark, serious eyes fixed on the young student's sullen gaze, and tears streamed from her large green eyes, wetting her full lips. Marinella Cestari rose from the table and left without saying goodbye. In the days that followed, nothing changed, in the sense that the young woman always sat in the front row of the assembly hall, never taking her eyes off the elder, not even for a moment. As Longobucco left the assembly hall, he knew his favorite student's gaze would follow him to the exit door. The next day, he would leave in the afternoon to join his Martina and little Luca in Lido di Camaiore. He really wanted to go and breathe the fresh spring sea air in Versilia. His family had already been living in a small apartment in a seaside residence for a week. In the late morning, she shopped for groceries at her local supermarket on the outskirts of Parma before heading to her loved ones. The major had the strange feeling of being followed, of someone watching her, and Marinella Cestari's big green eyes immediately came to mind. Thinking of her, she smiled bitterly and shook her head. As soon as the man's Alfa Romeo entered the Cisa entrance, his cell phone rang. The Bluetooth button was activated to answer hands-free.
"Hello? Good morning, Major. Sorry to bother you. This is Colonnello Vignati.
Before answering the new head of the RIS in Parma, Longobucco paused for a few moments to think about what the reason for that call could be.
Hello? Are you on the line? Can you hear me? Yes, good morning, Colonel. Tell me. I'm calling you from the city of Magenta in the province of Milan. A young boy was brutally murdered the night before last. A newspaper clipping was found on the victim's body.
The RIS commander paused for a few seconds, as if almost embarrassed to continue speaking. So, asked the major. Vignati coughed, confirming his embarrassment, and said,
The photo is definitely of you, from an article from a few years ago. It's very likely we'll need to involve you in the investigation. I know you're currently on vacation. At this time, I would kindly ask you if you could make yourself available for our consultation calls. But it's very likely that we'll need your presence on site in the future, because this murderer owes all the hallmarks of a serial killer.
Longobucco offered the RIS chief his full availability. He bade him farewell, hanging up the phone, and his face showed deep concern.